All right, moving on to our next game. It is a home computer game, the Commodore PET. It looks like this is called 3D Star Trek, and we've seen another version of Star Trek, not an official version, and this one is not official either. That was on the Commodore PET, and this is the other variation of it in 1979. So here we go. Let's take a look at, do we have any artwork for this? 3D Star Trek on the Commodore PET pack. Commodore software. There, and blown up in front of us is the cassette tape. We just heard from the chat, Jade Baby Doll was saying how such pleasant sounds. Thanks for joining us, listening to our alarms go off. And here's an example of some screenshots. Looks like this is going to be a strategy game for a home computer. Shocker. And we have a manual, though. I think this is our first Commodore PET manual. I don't think it's going to be an official one. It's got to be a homebrew manual. No, it's a manual for 3D Star Trek. Just like we said. Okay, booklet is, yeah, this is about how to play the strategy game on your Commodore PET. Looks like we have long range scans. Anyone that's a Trekkie fan out there, it's got it all. Warp drive, battle stations. How it relates to a game from 1979 on your home computer, we will see. All right, let's load her up. It is... Oh, this is the end of 1979. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now checking out all of the rest of the games that were released at some point in 1979. We couldn't pin down the exact date, so now we're going to be going through all the rest of the games in 1979 in alphabetical order. So 3D Star Trek would be our first one. All right, so the game first boots up, and it's asking us our ability. I didn't read the manual, but I'm going to say yes. Our ability is yes. Our ability is 1, 4, there. Oh, our ability is 1. Our topology, it's 1. There we go. Reading the manual, you know exactly how to play the strategy game. This one is played on a grid, and you use a warp drive, travel to different areas of space, and then blow things up. This is pretty rudimentary, and we played a version earlier in last year. That was a Star Trek game. But this one, does it even control using the... It does not. So it's going to use keys on the keyboard like H for hyperdrive, and then P for photon torpedoes. And we are, yes, nearing the end. We just heard in the chat from Jade Baby Doll, it is going to be the end of 79 at some point. So at some point, we will be done with the decade of the 70s. It's coming up soon. All right, so that was our 3D Star Trek on the Commodore PET. We're going to go ahead and give that one a below average. I'm going to say for what you could play at home on your computer, we have the Atari home computer out. We have the Texas Instruments home computer out. Way better home computers, so I'm going to give this one 2 stars, which would be the best of the bad score we could give a game from 1979. All right, so here we go. This is the rest of the games that came out sometime in 1979. If you knew exactly when they can come out, please let me know. From my research, all these games that we're about to play, these were sometimes in 1979, but not pinned down to an exact date. So this is, again, on our Commodore PET. This is Air Attack. And this one looks like an action or arcade game. We have one image or a screenshot, so let's see what this is like. It is 1979. We're playing our Commodore PET. Air Attack. Air Attack. The object of this game is to land an aircraft in New York. What? New York City? Like, land it in the city of New York? To do this, you must destroy all the buildings first. What? By bombing them. To drop bombs, press the space key. What? We are bombing New York? This is 1979, and this is obviously programmed by one person for the Commodore PET, but it's got to be from North America because the Commodore PET hadn't been released worldwide yet. The aircraft moves on an autopilot, so you have to drop bombs. The aircraft moves down each time the end screen is reached. When you land, the game restarts with your score unaltered. So it uses keyboard. Let's get our keyboarding on. Press any key to begin. Here is Air Attack for the Commodore PET. There it is. Oh, yeah. So it is a bombing game. It's when they started in the arcades, and then we saw it on the Atari home computer. But yeah, it's doing the same idea. You just time it, drop the bombs with spacebar on your keyboard, and then depending on what you hit, you get points for it. Why we're bombing New York, though, I don't know. But that is essentially it. Very, very simple, rudimentary. And for Air Attack, that would be below average. We're going to give that one less than our last one. Star Trek had some more depth to it. So 1.5 stars for Air Attack.